So, without further ado, my good friend, my lawyer, it's an honor to call Keith Wilson my friend. So, everyone, Keith Wilson.
Thanks, everyone. Sorry about the weather. I'm pretty sure it's Carney's fault.
But he can't keep Alberta down.
Today is Canada Day. It's a day when we reflect on the Canada that we once knew, the Canada that we were raised in, the Canada where our soldiers in past world wars went off and fought for freedom. They fought for the opportunity for our children to have prosperity. And why we're all here today, and I haven't talked to each one of you, but I know why you're here today. Because you know that Canada that our veterans fought for no longer exists. And that the Liberals, the Trudeau Liberals, the Carney Liberals in Ottawa have taken Canada to a completely different place. They're spending away our children's futures. They're making the cost of living unaffordable. They're making it so our kids can't start families and can't buy a house. They're spending recklessly. They have policies and philosophies that don't align with how you and I see the world, the future that we want for our kids. So today, on Canada Day, I reflect on the Canada that once was, and I approach it with confidence, with certainty, that we can, here in Alberta, recreate those values going forward. We can preserve them, we can protect them, we can cherish them. And we can do that through a legal pathway towards independence. Those of you who have heard me speak know that I point out and I emphasize, Canada's an anomaly in the world when it comes to democracies. Our Supreme Court of Canada in 1998 laid out a legal pathway for any province, after voting in a referendum on a clear question, that province could become its own independent country. And that's the path we need to follow. And that's the path we're going to follow. It's going to be a rocky road. There's going to be hills. There's going to be valleys. There's going to be rainstorms. But we're going to get there. I'm certain of it. Now, tomorrow, there's going to be a whole bunch of fanfare with the Prime Minister and the Premier announcing this pipeline, this mythical pipeline. And to me, I just did a number of legacy media interviews today and yesterday. And they're trying to say, well, doesn't that mean to you that, Albertans should be happy and that all the problems are solved? No, this whole MOU and the pipeline issue is evidence of the problem. It's evidence of the problem. Our Premier should not have to beg Ottawa for permission to create prosperity. Our Premier should not have to beg Ottawa for the opportunity to create wealth and jobs and a future for our children. That's the reality we face in Canada. Canada is democratically broken. It will always be the case that Ontario and Quebec will decide what we can and can't do here in Alberta. The only way to change it, when I had my debate with Premier Kenney, former Premier Kenney, he volunteered in his own argument that our Constitution is unamendable. You can't change it. Meech Lake Accord failed. Charlottetown failed. The only way we can get ourselves to a position where the people who make the decisions affecting our lives are elected here in Alberta is through independence, is through a referendum. That's the pathway. It's viable and it's real. And I want to emphasize something, particularly on Canada Day. It's not like we're going to dig up Alberta and bring in a house mover and move it somewhere else. We're always going to be a part of the geography that is now called Canada. But what's going to change is, as I said a moment ago, we're going to be able to elect our politicians that make the laws on all aspects. Criminal code, immigration, spending, taxation. That's the difference. And if those politicians don't meet our needs, we can unelect them. That's something that's impossible with the democratic structure of Canada. And as former Premier Kenney has noted, that's never going to change. So through independence, we'll be able to redefine our relationship with the rest of Canada as an independent country with leverage. Line 9 supplies the bulk of energy, fuel, diesel, oil, jet fuel to Sarnia and Ontario. They need us more than we need them. British Columbia, it would be 5 to 11 days if the TMX pipeline gets turned off before the Burnaby refinery runs out of fuel and nobody's moving in Vancouver. We have leverage. What we don't have is fairness or respect. Through independence, we can achieve that. We can do it clear-eyed. We can be the adults in the room. This is possible. In the coming weeks and months, many of you know that Tanya Clemens and I have started an independence organization called Let Alberta Decide. Go to our website, letalbertadecide.com. Thank you for the donations so far. We are breaking records with everything we do. The support is incredible. I can share with you that later today or possibly tomorrow, we're going to break $200,000 in donations in less than 2 weeks. That's a sign of the support, and we're going to make sure that money is used strategically, effectively, and generates results. We have lots of interesting things coming. You're going to love it when you see them, but all of you have a role. You have to reach out to those around you who don't see the world through the lens that we do, who haven't yet realized the opportunity that's before us and the fact that there's no getting off this sinking ship called Canada from within Canada. We can only do it from without. But I urge you to be gentle and respectful with those people because it's really an emotional thing for a lot of people. So use the information that we'll be putting up on the website. Use the tools that we're making available to you to gently use the time between now and October 19th to persuade people to be willing to vote yes for a referendum. Because if we can achieve that majority and get people to start to open up and start to see what all of you see, to reach the conclusions that all of you have reached, we're going to win this. We've got this. We've got to do this for our kids and our grandkids. Thank you very much.